Thank you very much, Comrade Mkhuleko Hlengwa. Greetings to the national leadership of the IFP that is present in this briefing. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, these are interesting times indeed. Thank you for joining us this afternoon to enable the IFP to brief you, as well as the people of South Africa, on decisions we have taken as the broad leadership of the party based on the outcome of the 2024 national and provincial elections, and on engagements that have taken place since the announcements of the results on the 2nd of June 2024. Throughout the IFP's campaign for 2024, we presented the IFP as a government in waiting, a leadership that must have an influential voice in the governance of our country if we are to rebuild South Africa. We are grateful to the electorate for the remarkable support expressed for the IFP through the ballot box, indicating strong alignment with the IFP's vision of how we can turn South Africa around. Through a free, fair and democratic election, the electorate indeed rejected the continued majority rule and gave its mandate for coalition governance. Indeed, the 2024 national and provincial elections were a pivotal moment in the history of our country. It marked a turning point in the direction of our country and ushered in a new era in the political dispensation. Coalition governments have come to stay, deciding how our country will be governed going forward. The election results put our country at the crossroads. The voters spoke loud and clear that they are not giving one political party a majority rule to govern alone the national government and in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng provincial governments. The people of South Africa who voted said that political parties must find each other, find a common ground, put the interest of the country first, and take South Africa forward. Thus, the announcement of the election launched an intensive period of negotiations, speculation, insightful analysis, and even fake news, during which South Africa has held its collective breath, praying for stability and economic growth. The IFP's National Executive Committee met on Sunday, the 2nd of June 2024, on the day the election results were to be announced in the afternoon, and we established a task team led by our Deputy President to engage in discussions with other political parties and negotiate the best outcome for South Africa. Following a period of intensive engagements, the task team has finalized its work and has briefed the IFP's NEC. Today, the final report of the task team was tabled first to the NEC and then to the National Council, which is the IFP's highest decision-making body between conferences. The National Council this afternoon deliberated on this report and carefully considered the direction to take to rebuild South Africa and contribute to the future of our country. I take pleasure in briefing you and the people of South Africa on the decisions taken by our National Council. The National Council of the IFP, having met to discuss the various scenarios presented to them, they have decided on the following. At a national level, the IFP has decided in forming part of a government of national unity. The IFP has agreed to form part of the government of national unity. Provincially, we are working towards forming a government in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, having met with the ANC, DA, and the NFP in this province. This continues to be a work in progress while we understand the deadlines of Friday. I must clarify on the issue of umkhonto wesizwe. On the MK party question and the subsequent letter which has been circulating in the public domain, we can confirm that we have received a letter and we agreed to meet with umkhonto wesizwe party. However, the leadership of the MK failed to honor a pre-arranged meeting. Our delegation waited for some time. However, when they failed to arrive, the meeting was cancelled. There has been renewed attempts today by the MK party to reach out to the IFP. Talks are still underway with regards to a coalition government in Gauteng. The IFP has confirmed its willingness to join that government of provincial unity in the province of Gauteng. In addition, as I have outlined before, the IFP will join a government of national unity that includes the ANC and the Democratic Alliance. In reality, the only options are to become part of the government or part of the opposition. The mandate we received from the electorate is for the IFP to contribute to the effective governance of South Africa. We recognize the responsibility this bestows on us to participate in government based on the will of the electorate. We will participate in the government of national unity for the sake of our country and for the sake of our people who want life to continue with a stable government that will address their challenges. This is the sole reason why the IFP supports the idea of the formation of the government of national unity and why we will join the GNU. We welcome the opportunity to bring the IFP's principled leadership and integrity in the governance of our country. This is not uncharted territory for the IFP. The IFP has vast experience in governance at a national and provincial level. It is our track record in governance that earned us the trust of the people of South Africa. The IFP served in the government of national unity from 1994 to 1999. and shared governance with the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal from 1999 to 2004. I can therefore assure you, the people of the media and the people of South Africa, that the IFP will not lose its identity by entering the Government of National Unity. The 13-point plan manifesto that we promised to the people of South Africa during our election campaign remains our commitment that we will strive for and for the people of South Africa. It is time for the IFP to strengthen government again. We are putting the stability and the best interest of South Africa first, as we committed to do so throughout the election campaign. In the GNU, the IFP will bring integrity, stability, and the drive to take forward our country and its people to a better future. In conclusion, let me reiterate what I said on the 2nd of June 2024 at the Results Center in Johannesburg. I want again to thank the volunteers, coordinators, members of the IFP, and all its leaders who shouldered our massive, aggressive, and assertive campaign. Above all, I want to thank the people of South Africa who gave us peaceful elections. We are humbled by the trust of the IFP, given to the IFP through the ballot box. We dedicated this election to our founder. Thank you for the effort, energy, time, and dedication each member of our party and each member of our society gave to our campaign in honor of the founder of the IFP, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. And lastly, I want to convey our gratitude to the media for enabling us to effectively communicate the IFP's message of hope. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I really had to hold a difficult cough there, so I won't interrupt you. It was so bad. So we'd like to now go to questions. And thank you, Mr. President, for that comprehensive statement. So I can't see, there's a hand at the back, and I'll come to the front. That's all we can do. Oh, okay, no, sorry, I can't see. All right, Snobuhle, Sisayan, Darcy, and Soyeso, and we'll come to Atlanta here. In that order, please. The mic. The room mic.
Nobuhle from Newsroom Africa. Good evening. We just want to find out, did you meet with the NFP and did it ever agree to the ANC-DA IFP coalition?
Okay, Jason from ENCA. Just on the question of the MK meeting. Sorry, I'm blocked here. I hope you can see. Mr. Shabisa, I just wanted to find out about the meeting. You say that it was agreed to, but it never happened because the representatives from the MK didn't pitch. When was that meeting, firstly? And when you say they didn't pitch, I mean, was it a matter of them not arriving in an hour or two, or was it longer than that? And is the door still open, or is it completely closed now? Because you say that there've been renewed attempts, but I'm not certain if it means that you will still be considering that, a follow-up meeting in that sense. And lastly, if X isn't lying, Shengo, I believe it's your birthday today.
Yes,
happy birthday.
In case.
Thank you.
This is Ayanda behind. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I am from the SADC. Mr. Khalees, I just wanted to check, in coming up with the decision to support part of the GNU, did you consult your constituencies, the supporters and the members of the IFP? They have given you the mandate. Is this a decision that has been informed by what your supporters would want? Because we are hearing that some might be opposed to it. If that is the case, then how are you going to handle that? Secondly, regarding the GNU, what is being offered to the IFP? There has been reports that there's a proposal that you be position of second deputy president. What is being offered to the IFP for being part of the GNU? Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. There's a gentleman who's...
Hi, I'm Soiso Maliti from News 24. Mr. Khalees, we just want to know if the IFP put up Mr. Nduli as a candidate, of course they did, but I want to know if your GNU partners in the provincial talks accepted Mr. Nduli as a candidate. And also, if the NFP has been amenable to during the talks, and if there were some points that gave the IFP DA discomfort that the NFP asked for, that's it.
Okay, let's take that last one, and then we will take the second round when we are done.
It's also for Mr. Khalees, I wanted to find out with regards to the coalition in the province, we know that you filed with them to the Premier. Has the other parties agreed in this regard? But also, I'm just trying to get a sense of what is it that you demanded to work with these parties here in the province, and did you get it? But also, on the issue of the MP party, seemingly that you are saying you are still willing to meet up with them, could there be any changes if they are more convincing? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And I request that we... This mic on, David. Mic 2, please.
Thank you very much for the questions that have been raised. Let me start with Nobuhle. I can place it on record. The latest meeting, which involved the ANC, the DA, and NFP, was this morning. We had a meeting. In that meeting, it was agreed on broad principles between our negotiating team and the other political parties that were part of that meeting. So precisely, there was a meeting. The latest one was today. Then coming to is Dasin. When was the meeting that could not take place yet pre-arranged between IFP and the MK? The meeting was scheduled for Wednesday in the afternoon. Yesterday was Thursday.
No, it was scheduled for Monday.
No. Tuesday.
What's today?
It's Thursday today.
No, today is
Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday.
Monday.
It was Monday, Mr. President.
Bear with us. We are still trying to catch up with time. Election time.
Monday.
We even lost dates. Okay. I'm sorry. Then the meeting was scheduled Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock. Our team had to wait for 2 hours. And they were requested to, our team was informed that the delegation is running late. After 5, they waited for 2 hours. The rest of the members of the team dispersed. Comrade Mkhuleko Hlengwa remained with the instruction that should they arrive you must contact us, we will come back for the meeting. Khuleko Hlengwa waited for another 2 hours. Nobody pitched up. Are there any attempts, or is the door closed? No, the door is not closed up to now. There are other attempts that are underway because we still have a day tomorrow to meet the MK party so that we engage them on the common cause. I think I've answered those 2 questions. Then Ayanda, did you consult your constituency? That is why the IFP has been running away to call the press conference because we wanted to involve our structures. As I said, the IFP on a day-to-day runs the party through the National Executive Committee. The body called National Council stand in between conferences. If time cannot allow you to call the conference, you call the National Council. That body met this afternoon and we presented all the scenario before the National Council, and the National Council, which represents all the provinces where the IFP exists, agreed unanimously that we get into the GNU for the sake of our country and for our people. What we read from the media or from media platforms is what we hear from the media. Members of the IFP know the channels when they have issues, because we issued a statement even last week which pointed the direction of our engagement. We could not call a conference like there is no other political party that has called a conference, but we followed all the process in terms of getting the view of the IFP by calling the National Council. We are still going to take it further to call the extended National Council. That will include leaders, up to 600 leaders of the IFP. But we have done our groundwork to go down to structures to hear the views of our members. And we want to make it clear that people who did not vote the IFP and voted another party, they should not dictate the direction to be taken by the IFP. Because you can't vote party A and then want to dictate party B to do what you did not give them the mandate to do, because you did not vote them. That is why I'm saying, due to the 14-day period, we have limited time. But after the process, we will go down to our structures, but the first point of entry will be the extended National Council, where you have the figure I indicated of the IFP leaders, in order to take them along. But we've done our groundwork, colleagues, in terms of getting the feel and the views of our people. Let me just say this point, which I indicated here. When we campaigned, we said people must take their protest to the ballot box and bring the ruling party below 50%. They did it. Now, the people of South Africa said, find each other, get a common ground, take our country forward. In the interest of all political parties and all scenarios, the IFP, in the interest of the people of South Africa, all who voted and spoke unanimously that no one political party will have a majority role in South Africa, they said, find each other, take our country forward. We are heeding that call of the people of South Africa. Any offers, we spoke in terms of principles, that we agree that since there is no one party with a majority, political parties must find a common ground and work for the good of our country. The other details in terms of what offers are available is work that is being attended to by our team. But broadly, the IFP is not interested that much on positions to be a condition to do anything. By Friday, we will have finalized the issue of how do we participate in this government of national unity, but as a party we are not opposed to it, because we understand we can't leave the country at the crossroad. We need to take it forward. The question of Mr. Hlabisa, I'm sure the people know, even the media, that in terms of the constitution of our country, there is no provision of the second deputy president. So now whoever is saying that, I think as I indicated, there are fake news, because in terms of the constitution, there is no such position. Then speaking about it indicates a position of misinformed or deliberately misleading the nation. So is uComrade u-18 Ntuli was our candidate, premier candidate during our campaign, and he still remains the IFP's candidate, whom we have presented to the leadership of the ANC and the leadership of the DA and the NFP. And the ANC leadership and the DA leadership, they expressed their full support of Comrade 18 Ntuli to lead a coalition government at a provincial level to take our province forward. Then the question of the NFP, I responded to it. Right now, there is a further engagement with the NFP following the meeting they had with us this morning. So on the question of the NFP, the engagement is still on, as equally with the MK. Unhlanhla, he wanted to know what was demanded by the other parties at a provincial level. Even at a provincial level, we agreed in broad principles, because the question of who becomes the MEC for which department will not be a matter of priority on Friday. But with the partners with whom we met this morning, we came to a common agreement on the question of the premier, the question of the speaker, and the question of the deputy speaker. The rest portfolios, by the time when the premier has been elected and ready to announce the name in terms of available time frames, those portfolios will be made public when announced to the people of the province.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Are there any further questions? Takes quick look at this there. All right, Sister Nobuhle Dawson, in that order, please. I'm sorry,
Also from Scroll Africa. Just one question. There is that elephant in the room in Zululand. It involves the IFP and the NFP. Have you agreed on how we are going to handle that issue, considering the fact that even before the elections, the NFP was already eyeing the Zululand district municipality and the Abakulus, that is Friday. How are you going to handle this going forward? Have we agreed or on how to deal with that issue?
Nobuhle Dawson will come to you after Nobuhle, and then there was a fourth hand. Right, Nobuhle proceeds this.
Nobuhle Mutise again from Newsroom Africa. Dr. Labisa, I asked about the meeting with the NFP this morning that you speak of, because it would seem the NFP President Ivan Barnes was at a meeting with former President Jacob Zuma this afternoon. There's photos that are doing the rounds. Are you aware of this? And I also want to find out, has the framework that will guide the GNU been finalized between the parties that will be taking part, and are you at liberty to share what this framework is? Thank you.
Dawson?
Station again. Anyone who's watching our channel now will know that the breaking story that we're running is the mayor of eThekwini being recalled. So that's a nice way to get into my question around the demands that were made by the IFP, because in the province, the ANC needs you more than you need it. So I just want to clarify that situation that's unfolding now, the recalling of the mayor, does that have anything to do with these conversations that have been taking place with the IFP, and were there any other demands that were made of the ANC in order for you to work with it provincially? Thank you.
Let's get responses to
Firstly,
sorry, the follow-up. You're fine, all right.
Firstly, Sihle Mavuso, with regard to the issue of ZDM, which is a local government sphere, the IFP does not believe that we must use the national and provincial elections to settle scores at a local government level. Because the truth of the matter, the voters of South Africa went to the polling stations to vote for a provincial and national government, not a local government. The IFP's view is any issue that deals with a local government should be attended separately. Let me just make a practical example for you. In Tshwane, you know, the Action SA had issues but said it will remain in Tshwane because it's a different sphere of government which can be engaged at a later stage. And it is our hope and belief that we are not going to use the outcomes of 2024 to fix our problems of 2021. If we come to a particular understanding in 2024 to work together, the next level should be, can we take the same spirit to address issues outstanding dating back to 2021? Because just imagine, there are many municipalities which are hung in South Africa and come to KwaZulu-Natal. If a political party that is not comfortable to be part of the provincial government can say, if your IFP becomes part of the provincial government with a particular party, we are pulling out at a local government level. Doing so, really, for the lack of a better word, but with every respect, will be abusing the decision made by the people of South Africa. We feel we need to separate things. Lastly, people who understand the coalitions in Germany. In Germany, you will find a coalition arrangement at a local government different to the alignment at a provincial government, and also different at the alignment at a national level. People do not say because we are in an agreement to govern together at a national level, so it must do so in all other spheres, because people voted differently. Combining different elections and use them as a bargain, we just pray that we respect the will demonstrated on 29 May, and other issues can follow. I think I can end there on that question. Nobuhle, you're coming back on the issue of the president of the NFP. In this morning, the president of the NFP, Mr. Barnes, was present in that meeting. There is nothing that prevents the president of the NFP, after the meeting of the IFP ANCDA, to go and meet Ubaba Umsholozi. Equally, the IFP, despite of the meeting that collapsed, we are still open to engage with the MK. There is nothing wrong, because you know what? To take our country going forward, we must talk to each other and give reason to what we are doing, so that at the end of the day, we go along together. People of South Africa, in their majority, have voted and they want progress. And they will be watching the space. Who behaves how in the mandate they give, that you work together. And come the next election, they will use the discretion of their judgment as to who to remove and who to give more power, because when you said work together, they couldn't find each other, but who was troublesome. But if they feel that people are working together, in other countries, go to Denmark, almost 100 years. A coalition government, no majority given to one political party, because people say you abuse the majority. We want you to work together, ensure there is sufficient checks and balance amongst yourself. You become watchdog to each other against corruption or any misnomer, and ensure that progress is achieved for our country. That is where we are in South Africa. We better get used to it, because it has come. Some people were saying, no, there will be no coalition government. Where are we? We are there. Fortunately, the IFP was one of the political parties that started earlier to work to prepare for a new dispensation of the coalition government. The best thing political parties to do, get used to it, engage and engage until you find a common ground and take the country forward. The issue of eThekwini, or the framework, is there any framework? Yes, there is a document which is a work in progress. Once it is finalized, it will be made a public document as to what determines this working together. The issue of the mayor of eThekwini, no, the IFP under no circumstances, no matter how much we are unhappy with eThekwini, because our wish was, if we won the election, we will consider the disbandment of eThekwini municipality. Under no circumstance we could use a local government sphere to bargain at a provincial and national government level, because people did not vote for the local government. What I said before, the issue of the mayor of eThekwini resigning is a matter of the ANC. We can't speak much on their behalf. But on record, the IFP did not raise any matter that will deal with the coalition at or a government at a local sphere, because we treat these as separate. We can engage once we have gone through to the deadlines as prescribed by our constitution.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. If I may just add one aspect, I'm glad I've got all you colleagues here, because there's been some sort of concerted effort in certain quarters to sow division in the IFP. And I want to say for the record that the stories that ran speaking about difference of outlook between the President and the KZN provincial chairperson are in fact malicious, they are reckless, they are irresponsible, and none of the writers of those stories took the time, care, or consideration to put questions to the President or Mr. Ntuli, but wrote the stories as fact. And I think that in any story with such grave allegations, the ad alteram partem rule should apply in journalism as well. And it didn't. And what I'm saying here on record, having engaged the President and the KZN provincial chairperson, it's regrettable that stories would make headlines to the extent to which they did without them being engaged. And in any case, there's no discord. The IFP is singing from the same hymn sheet in terms of how things should happen and how they should move forward. So I just thought I should, since this pelele, throw that in to say, if there's a question, put the question and we answer it, but don't write a story as fact and make allegations against an individual, a leader, or a party, and not put a question to them. It's just simple. Are you preferring one and we tell you yes or no? Are you preferring two, yes or no, and we tell you? As opposed to writing a story and choose preferences for the President and choose preferences for Umpem. In this case, they've got the same preference, and the preference is the decision of the National Council. So I just thought I should rule on that one, Mr. President. Right. Are there any other issues that you have, colleagues? There's a hand at the back. I can't see who it is. Sorry, if you could just assist me there. Oh, it's Tulani. Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to check with the leadership of the IFP if they are aware that the National Freedom Party have agreed to work with the MK in KwaZulu-Natal, and they have been offered a premier candidate position. So I'm just trying to check if the IFP is aware of that.
Thank you. The second question is Lee from IOL News. I just want to get clarity on whether any offers have been made to the IFP for joining under the GNU. There were reports this week of a second deputy president position. I just wanted to see if there's any clarity on that. So I'm not sure if it was asked and answered earlier. And in terms of the, the Moonshot Pact was kind of
the multi-party charter.
The multi-party charter, yes, was disbanded as soon as there was trouble in the waters. What's going to ensure that whatever government or national unity is formed, that it stays intact for the next 5 years? Thank you.
Mr. President, maybe before you respond, can you just clarify on the... You can talk to me about the second deputy president. Yeah. It was answered to earlier on. Suffice it to say there's no such thing as a deputy president in South Africa. It doesn't exist. So I can engage you further on the response the president gave, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Elani. The IFP will always tell the truth and honest facts. We met, our team met a delegation of the ANC, DA, and NFP this morning. Now, when you ask us that there is circulating information that the NFP has decided the other way round, we cannot speak on behalf of the NFP. We would want to respect them as a political party. I think that is where we can end. The question, Umashasha then has helped my brother because you might have arrived late. In the Constitution, there is no position of the second deputy president. So it is like something that does not exist or fake news. The issue of the MPC. Firstly, the goal of the MPC was to push the ruling party below 50%. That goal was achieved. The second goal was to form an alternative government should the MPC get 50% plus one. The second goal was not achieved. There has never been a meeting which disbanded the MPC except the media statement, the media briefing where the Action SA declared that they are withdrawing. But practically, when the MPC was formed to, as a second goal, form an alternative government, and that goal is not achieved, automatically, the MPC has reached its logical end of the journey. Now, your question is, what will ensure that the GNU succeed? I can assure you, my brother, I'm speaking on behalf of the IFP. The IFP will go to the Government of National Unity with commitment to take our country forward. These leaders of the IFP have been part of many intensive study tours to countries like Denmark, to countries like Germany, learning about good practices that sustains coalition government. As I said, Denmark is almost 100 years under coalition government. They have experienced it for a century. They know what makes a coalition government work and also not to work. Similar, if you go to Germany, we were a team of political parties, different political parties. For your information, or let me just not bring in the names of other parties, but in Denmark, it was a combination broadly of the parties to look at how Denmark has succeeded for over 100 years. Oh, but anyway, this is public information. It was the ANC, it was the DA, it was the EFF, it was the IFP, and other smaller parties. You can judge from yourself. In Germany, DA, IFP, Action SA, Freedom Front Plus, and other smaller parties. Why did we do that? We wanted to prepare for the coming time because we knew there is no turning back to where we are today. I want to assure the people of South Africa that we have good leaders as a country. We managed to bring an end to violence, which was costing life of our people. We can't fail to work together, having done a remarkable step of bringing harmony amongst the people of South Africa. You see, our ears hear when the people speak. The electorate said, find yourself, get the common ground, work together and take our country. It's a simple message. I have confidence Because at the local government level, there are successful coalition governments, let alone those who have challenges, but there are successful coalition governments. You know them, who always form the quorum, pass the budget, get projects done, commission them, and hand over to people. Life is going on. That is why people had trust in the IFP, because they see how it performs in the municipalities we govern through coalition. So now, from the IFP point of view, we just don't have a worry that it might not work out. The principle that makes a coalition government work, as I conclude, engagement, and engagement, and engagement until you find a common ground. Lastly, in Germany, they said if you want a successful coalition government, you must have standing meetings, even if you meet every week. Have a fixed date for the meeting of the coalition partners to troubleshoot any problem. What makes governments not to succeed, even if it is one political party, if you don't meet, problems compound and make you not progress. If you are many political parties, if you have a standing meeting every day, one day in a week, even if you have no item to discuss, you meet. And then you say there is no item to discuss, meeting closed. If there are issues you have any problem with, you refer those items to a board that will deal with troubleshooting.
Umengameli we-IFP uVelenkosini Hlabisa becacisa ngekusasa le-IFP mayelana ngezingxoxo zokusebenzisana kwamaqembu.